So in the last class, we have discussed about the various kind of tokens that are supported by Python, where we have learned about some of the few tokens, like we have discussed about keywords, identifiers, and literals. Okay. So in today's class, what we'll do is we will be learning about the token operators. So what exactly the operators are. Okay. We will be learning about that. Okay. For example, if you consider the classic examples of mathematics, okay. So from childhood onwards, you are performing some sort of operation. You're performing some sort of operation with the numerical values. Let's say addition of two numbers, multiplication of two numbers. But while performing those operation, you use a symbol between those numerical values. Okay. Let's say if you want to add 2 plus 2. Okay. If you want to perform the addition of two numbers and those two numbers are 2. Okay. So if you want to perform that, get 2 plus 2 out of 2 plus 2, 2 is basically the operand. 2 is basically the operand on which you're performing the operation, and plus is basically the operator. For example, I have a number 6 and I want to perform multiplication it with 2. So the resultant output is 12. We know that. But out of this 2 are basically the operand. This 2 are basically the operand, and this is the operator on which you are performing the operation. This is the operator, because with the help of this operator we are able to perform the multiplication operation. But what if I change this operator to something this? I change this operator to something this. The entire operation will get changed. Now in case of multiplication we will be having addition. Okay, please consider it to be as plus. So what is if I change the operator from plus to this? The entire operation will once again get changed, but the operand remains the same. Okay, here what we are doing is we are changing the operator. Okay, we are changing the operator and the entire process gets changed. Okay, similarly in Python we have many different types of operators. Okay, so the entire concept of operators of Python can be divided into two types. Okay, so the entire concept of operators in Python can be divided into two types. Please note it down, students. The first type that we have is basically the unary operator. The first one that we have is basically the unary operator, and the next one that we have is basically the binary operator. Okay, and the next one that we have is basically the binary operator. Okay, so what exactly the unary operator is and binary operator is. But before that, if the concept of operator is clear, like what is operator, what are operators, please note that operators are those tokens which helps us to perform some sort of operation. Okay, as soon as we trigger the operator, then the corresponding operation is being performed. Okay, so in general in Python, the entire concept of operators can be divided into two types. The first one is the unary and the second one is binary. So if we divide, or if we further divide the concept of unary operators, then unary operators can be classified as follows: unary plus, unary minus, okay, and then we have unary not. Okay, unary plus, unary minus, and unary not. Okay, so these are the different divisions that we can have. Okay, unary plus, unary minus, and then unary not. Okay, so these are the different type of unary operators. Now the thing is, like, what exactly unary operators are? So let me tell you, unary operators are those operators which uses a single operand to perform the operation, which uses a single operand to perform the operation. Instead of having multiple or two different operands, it will use a single operand. Okay, unary operators, what they do is they use a single operand. That's why we call it as unary operator. Okay, so in order to understand, let us go through this example so that we can understand this in a better way. Okay, for example, I have a variable a and I'm assigning the value to be a string. Okay, so here you can see that I've assigned a positive integer over here. So what if I need a negative integer? So in that case, what I will do is I will be assigning the value minus over here. Okay, so the moment I print this value, or print this variable, then you can see that the value of a goes to negative from positive. From being positive, it goes to negative, and here we have a negative value. Okay, so this is basically the example of unary minus. So what we have done is we have performed the operation of converting an integer from positive to negative. Okay, the same thing goes for plus as well. So here you can see that it is using the positive integer 10, but yes, here we have assigned purposely, we have assigned the value plus over here, but do remember that this is not going to make any change, because by default if you don't assign any value, it is going to treat as a positive integer. But if you are assigning a value, then definitely it will try to convert to that particular value. Okay, but in case of plus, there is not we don't see any change in case of symbols, so the values remained as same. Okay, so this is what exactly unary plus and unary minus are. So in case of minus, the value will get changed to a negative integer. Okay, and in case of plus, it will remain positive as it was. Okay, so yes, since you can see that it is using a single operand, it is using just a single operand, that's why we call it as unary operator. Since it is using a single operand, that's why we call it as unary operator. Okay, so in case if we have multiple operands, so in case of this example that we gave, 2 plus 2 or 6 minus 2, you can see over here we have this many values, we have this many operands, that is 2. Okay, that's why we call it as binary operator, we call it as binary operator. But in case of unary, we have single operand, that's why we call it as unary operator. So yes, so this was all about unary operator, where I have discussed about unary plus, unary minus, and yes, unary not. Okay, so these are the different operators that we have learned, like the unary plus, unary minus. Now let us try to understand the next unary operator, that is unary not. Okay, so what exactly unary not does? Okay, so we'll be understanding this with an example over here. Okay, so in case if you have a variable, okay, in case if you have a variable and we need to perform unary not operation. Okay, so for that what we'll do is we'll just use the symbol, and here we'll be assigning the value. Okay, so the moment I print the value of a, you can see there is a significant change in the value. Instead of getting 10, we are getting 11. So what exactly happens whenever we are performing unary not? Okay, so yes, so if we perform unary not, if the integer is positive, let's say we are performing unary not with 10. So we are performing unary not with 10. So the moment we perform unary not, what will happen is the value of 10 will get incremented with 1. Please try to understand. In unary not, generally the incrementing of value is being done. Okay, so 10 plus 1 is what? 11.
11.
Yes, and the symbol from positive, the symbol from positive gets changed to negative. Okay, so this is the concept behind unary not. That means the positive integers will get converted to negative integers. So what if we have a negative value? Let's say minus 10, and we are performing unary not in minus 10. We are performing unary not in minus 10. So what will happen? As I said, uh, value of 1 will get incremented first. So if we perform minus 10 plus 1, minus 10 plus 1, so what we are going to get? We are going to get minus 9 over here. We are going to get minus 9 over here. And if we perform the conversion of symbol, then the minus 9 will get changed to plus 9. So in output we'll be getting plus 9. Okay, so if we perform the unary operation of, let's say, yes, unary operation of minus 10, in the output you can see that we are getting the output to be as positive 9. Okay, so this was all about unary not. I hope the concept of all I hope the entire concept of unary operator is clear. So here what we'll do is now we'll shift to the binary operator, and we'll try to understand what are the different type of binary operators that are present in Python. Okay, we'll try to understand what are the different type of binary operators that are present in Python. Okay, so if we talk about binary operators, then the binary operators can be divided as follows. The first one is the arithmetic operator. Okay, the second one that we have is basically a bitwise operator, followed by shift operator, then we have the relational operator, followed by the logical operator, Then we have the assignment operator. Okay. Then we have the membership operator. And the last one is the identity operator. Okay. So this many different type of binary operators we have. First one is the arithmetic operator, bitwise operator, shift operator. Okay, so it comes under the bitwise itself. Okay, then relational operator, logical operator, assignment operator. Then we have a membership operator and the identity operator. So कुल मिलाकर अगर देखें, in binary operators we have this many classifications: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Total 8 different type of binary operators are supported by Python. The first one of binary operator is arithmetic, followed by the bitwise operator. Then we have the shift operator. Then we have the relational, logical, assignment, membership, and identity. Okay. So अगर पूरे के पूरे ऑपरेटर्स के कंसेप्ट को अगर समझे तो पूरे के पूरे ऑपरेटर्स के कंसेप्ट को इस प्रकार से कुछ समझ सकते हैं. The entire concept of operator can be classified as follows: that operators can be divided into two types. First one is unary, the second one is binary. In unary, we have three different types: unary plus, unary minus, and unary not. Please remember that this is unary not. Okay, this operator that we have is basically unary not. Okay, this is unary not. Okay, and for binary operator, we have arithmetic, bitwise, shift, relational, logical, assignment, membership, and identity. Okay, so let us try to understand each and every operator one by one. So for assignment operator, for the arithmetic operator, we need to understand that arithmetic operator is one binary operator which will perform definitely the arithmetic operation between multiple operands. Because it is the part of binary operator, then definitely it is going to take multiple operands as a value. Okay, for an instance, we can take this example. For example, we have a equal to 5. If we have a equal to, let's say, 5, we have b equal to, let's say, 10. Okay, a equal to 5 and b equal to 10. And if we need to perform arithmetic operations between these two values, if we need to perform arithmetic operation between these two values, in that case, how can we perform? Let's say we need to perform addition. We can have a temporary variable sum, and let's a plus b. Let us perform a plus b. The next statement what we can do is we can print the value of sum, that is a plus b. So the moment we execute the code, we can get the value to be as 15, which is performing the arithmetic operation. Okay. I hope this concept is clear. Like, how can we perform the arithmetic operation of two numbers, that is sum equal to a plus b. Okay, that is we are performing the addition of two numbers. Here a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 10, and yes, this is an example of arithmetical addition. Okay, so if we need to perform arithmetical subtraction, in that case we'll be using this symbol. Okay, let's say a minus b. Okay, so here what we have done is we have performed the subtraction of these two numbers, that is 5 and 10. Okay, so the moment we execute the code, we get the output to be as minus 5. Okay, the reason is because it is performing 5 minus 10. Okay, so that's why we are getting this value to be as negative integer. Okay, so this is an example of arithmetic subtraction. What if we want to perform arithmetical multiplication? So in case of arithmetical multiplication, we can simply use this asterisk. Please don't use this x. In that case, you will be getting a syntax error. You can use this asterisk. Asterisks are generally used to signify the multiplication of numbers in programming languages. So the moment we execute the code, you can see that we get the value to be as 50. Okay, so yes, out of the subtraction, multiplication, addition, we can also perform the division operation. But yes, remember that the division operation in Python is performed in two ways. Okay, in the first way, we generally get the remainder, and in the second case, we generally get the quotient. Okay, so how is it done? Let us try to understand. Okay, so let's say if we need to perform the division of two numbers, and it is as follows. Let's say 6 divided by 2. Okay, 6 divided by 2. Okay, so the two ways by which we can perform the division in Python is as follows. The first one is basically the use of forward slash. Use of the forward slash. If we use forward slash and place the operands in between, and we place the operands apart, then in that case, let's say 6 /2. Okay, so here what we'll get, here we'll get the output to be as 3. That means we are getting the quotient. Okay, this is the first case. Please try to understand. And in the second case, if we want the remainder, then in that case what we need to do is we need to use the percentile symbol, or generally which is called as the modulus symbol. So in this case, we'll be getting the value to be as 0. We'll be getting the value to be as 0. That means in this case we are getting the remainder, and in this case we are getting the quotient. Okay, so let me show it practically, like how we can get. So let's say if I need to perform this B by A. Okay, so let's see what kind of output do we get. So we get 2 as the output. That means it is returning me the quotient. What if we perform this B modulus A? In this case, you can see that we're getting the output to be as 0, because here we are getting the remainder. Okay, so here we are getting the remainder. Okay, B by A, in case of B by A, we are getting the quotient, and in case of B modulo A, we are getting the remainder. So this symbol is known as the modulus symbol in programming. Okay, in mathematics also you will be learning modulus, but yes, don't get confused with that. This is the modulus symbol of Python or any programming language. Okay, so this was all about a division. There is one more type of division, that we call it as to be is the floor division. So how the floor division is done? Okay, this is the case 3 floor division. So this is case 3 floor division. So how exactly floor divisions are done? For example, if we have a value A is equal to, let's say, 30, B is equal to, let's say, 7. Okay, let's see what we get if we perform 30 by 7. Okay, we get something 4.28, something like that. Okay, so in floor division, if we perform A by B, that means we need to use 2 forward slash. Okay, we need to use 2 forward slash. It may look like parallel lines. Let us slant it a little bit more. 2 forward slash. Floor division, we generally use 2 forward slash. So here what we get is we get the output to be as only 4. It means that floor division will omit the values after the decimal point. Okay, please try to understand. Floor division will omit the values after the decimal point. Okay, so here you can see that I've used a single forward slash. So the moment I put 2 forward slash, the output changes and we get only 4. That means all the values after the decimal point has been omitted by the interpreter, because here we are using the operator that is floor division. So once again, it is a part of the arithmetic operator. Okay, so this was the concept of floor division. In floor division, what we do is we remove the values after the decimal point. That means after the decimal point, we remove those values. Okay, so yes, if we talk about arithmetic operator, then entire concept of arithmetic operator can be classified as follows: arithmetic plus, arithmetic minus, arithmetic multiplication, arithmetic division, modulo division, floor division, and last but not the least, that is the exponential values, calculation of exponential values. So in this case, we generally use 2 asterisks to find the exponential values. Okay, so how it is performed, let us try to understand that. So let's say if we need to perform 2 to the power 2. So in this case, what we'll do is 2 star star 2. Okay, we get the output as 4. So what about 2 to the power, let's say 3. 2 star star 3, and we are getting the value to be as 8. Okay, so this is if you need to perform some sort of arithmetical operation, then in that case you will be using this. Okay, arithmetical, let's say if you need to calculate the power with having a base and an exponent and an exponent value, in that case we'll be using two asterisks. Okay, so yes, and this was all about the arithmetic operators. So in case if you have any query with respect to arithmetic operator, you can ask. In case if you have any query with respect to arithmetical operators or arithmetic operators, you can ask as of now. Else I will move ahead to the bitwise operator. So yes, apart from this, we'll be moving ahead to the next operator, that is the bitwise operator. So bitwise operator, we generally perform the operation in bitwise level. Okay, in bitwise operator, we generally perform the operator in bitwise level. Okay, so how the or how the operation is done in bitwise level, let us try to understand. Okay, yes, as I said, in bitwise level means that we generally perform the operation in binary level. We generally perform the operation in binary level. Okay, but before moving ahead, we must know what exactly AND is. We must also know that what exactly OR is, and we must also know that what exactly XOR is. First, what we'll do is we will know we will understand the concept or the logic of AND, followed by OR, and then the XOR. Okay. Now let us move ahead with the concept of AND. Okay. So what exactly AND in programming means? Okay. Whenever we perform logical AND, here I'm explaining you the concept of logical AND. So in logical AND, what exactly happens? Let us try to understand. For example, I have two supplies of input. That's input 1, 2, and both of them will contribute towards the output. OP. This is output OP. Input 1, input 2, and output. So if you are performing or if you are supplying, okay, if you are supplying a positive integer or if you are supplying a true value, let's say this is true, 2 is generally remarked to be as 1, okay, and this is false, 0. So in that case, you will be getting the output or the resultant output to be as false. Okay? It means that if you are passing a true value and a false value, and if you are performing AND operation in between that, you are going to get the final output to be as false. This is for the case of AND operation. Okay, this is for the case of AND operation. Here we are able to understand. Here we are trying to understand the AND operation. Okay, so yes, so this is for the case of AND operation. So if you're passing a true value and a false value, in that case, we'll be definitely getting the output to be as false. And if you're passing a false value and a true value, that is vice versa of the previous one, in that case also you are going to get the output to be as false. Okay. If you're passing both the values to be as false, you can see that I'm using 0 because 0 generally mean that we are signifying false value. Okay, so here the output is to be received as false. That means if either one of the input is false or 0, then the output shall remain 0. And if both the inputs are 0, in that case also the output shall remain 0 or false. But what if we get both the value to be as true? This is. But if we get the value if we get both the values to be as true, in that case we'll be getting the output to be as true. Okay, so this is the case for AND operator. This is the case for AND operator. Okay, this is the case for AND operator. That means for AND operation, in order to perform AND operation, we need to have all the supplied inputs to be as true. All the supplied inputs to be as true or 1. Okay, so if any one of the values false, in that case we'll get the output to be as false. Is it clear? If the concept of bitwise is clear, so is it like multiplication? Yes, it is like multiplication. Because here you can see 0 1 0, 0 1 once again 0 0 0 0, So 1 into 1, 1. You can say that it is like multiplication. So that's it for your AND operator. In the next class, what we'll do is we'll be understanding the OR operator and we'll be moving ahead. Okay, OR operator, then XOR, then we'll come to this concept of bitwise operator so that we can understand this concept flawlessly.